Stormy Daniels is in court testifying in the Donald Trump hush money criminal trial in New York, um, to determine whether or not he, committed campaign finance fraud, and illegally paid off Stormy Daniels in order to keep her quiet about their sexual encounter these many years ago. The what?
Their little spank sesh. She spanked him.
Oh, she did spank him. This is very, very upsetting. All this.
Mm.
So here, what's great about this trial is, well, other than potentially the judge, Merchan, putting Trump in jail for all the defamation, not the defamation, the violating his whatever the fuck, just running.
Oh, his gag order.
His gag order. I forgot that it's too sexual. But which is never going to happen. But I'd like to see him try. I'd love to see it just a day, a little bit in the drunk tank. Just drunk tank it out with Trump.
We deserve treats throughout this.
A little bit.
Like he's not gonna face consequences. Really, he'll be fine. He might be the president. But like give us that. Give him a day.
Give a day. Make me as happy as I was the day I found out he had COVID. I've been chasing that high for so long now. But okay, so she's in court. They don't know who's going to testify on which given day. So this was a surprise. And Trump immediately tweeted out on his whatever Truth Social something just really angry at Stormy Daniels, but then immediately had to delete it because that's a gag order. And he's like, oh shit, they might actually put me in jail. So delete. But here she is. This is sort of, now I want to just caveat this a lot with Stormy Daniels is basically patient zero of the Me Too movement. And we forget that a little bit. I do believe firmly that the Me Too movement popped off because Donald Trump was elected president, because you have an open predator with all these sexual assault allegations, who was elected to office, and everyone's like, you know what? That's enough. I'm gonna actually come out with my truth. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't want this person to be the president one day.
Exactly. And this is the person who's going to spell obviously the stripping of abortion rights for women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think we forget that Stormy Daniels got into this situation with Donald Trump because he kept on goading her and flirting with her on the basis that he could get her onto The Apprentice, that he was going to get her onto The Apprentice. Oh, yeah. And she took a meeting in his hotel room, which you generally don't do. And she sort of admits that. And she also has stood by the idea that it was consensual, although definitely not that enthusiasm.
Right. She made it clear it wasn't there was no physical threat or anything like that. But again, in those situations, what's the dynamic going on?
Right. Now, I also want to just say, I kind of love Stormy Daniels. She's got a great sense of humor, and you can kind of see that throughout this. She testified about a conversation she and Trump had in his hotel suite. Trump asked her how she got involved in the adult entertainment industry and how she segued into writing and directing. She recounted to jurors how she corrected a misconception by telling Trump that some pornographic films have real scripts and real movies. It's not just, oh, sorry, Mr. Pizza Boy, she said. I can only imagine the court, kind of chuckling at that.
Bit.
Right? Okay, so to me, already crushing it. She testified she was baffled about how she ended up having sex with Trump, but that she agreed to it because she didn't say anything at all. I felt to myself, great. I put myself in this bad situation, she said. I think I just blacked out. Oh boy.
God. Aside from Trump's very difficult legal situations, the different legal situations and that he's frustrated by and angry all the time. He's so mad all the time, and he's so mad that he's so sleepy.
Yes,
it is funny to see him just sexually humiliated.
Yeah. I blacked out. You don't want to hear. I blacked out.
I had to get through it. And it was short, and I had to get through it.
It was
but also
so
horrific.
Distasteful. I disassociated from my body to do it like that. Only rapists would be happy to hear that. But she also says she wasn't under any influence. She said she felt really woozy and weird, but she wasn't on any drugs. Didn't feel like she had been roofied or anything like that. And then she describes the sex. awkward moments in the courtroom as Daniels detailed the alleged sexual encounter. Quote, I had my clothes and my shoes off. I believe my bra was still on. We were in missionary position, Daniels said. Defense jumps in to object. The judge sustains the objection. Nobody wants to hear more of that, including the judge. One female juror looks uncomfortable with the comments and is looking away while holding her forehead.
I don't know if that's discomfort, actually. Pretty sure she's laughing inside.
Right? Like, how are you not dying? This is the most, when you laugh the hardest is when you're not supposed to laugh.
Yeah. You gotta relieve that discomfort, and you're not allowed to. Don't do it. I'm a professional. I'm a juror. I can't. But
no,
sometimes...
or just the wincing at imagining it.
Yeah.
Trump appears to be very upset about having to sit through Daniels' testimony. When the porn star said Trump told her that he and his wife Melania don't sleep in the same bed anymore, the former president shook his head. When Daniels told jurors that she swatted Trump on the backside with a magazine during their encounter in Lake Tahoe, he appeared to mouth bullshit, which I like how he's more upset about that. Like, I don't know, Cody, explain that to me. I think it was like a rolled up. What was it?
It was a magazine that he was on the cover of, I'm pretty sure. I assume it's one of his Time magazines, one of his Newsweeks.
It's his fake ones. But was it the real
exactly.
one?
Let's give him benefit of the doubt. It was a real one.
Let's imagine
he's been on magazines before. It's fine. There are real magazines out there.
Yes.
And he made some comment, and he was being sort of like really prying and kind of rude and just Trumpy about it. And there was a moment where she was like kind of had it. And she made a comment like, maybe you should be spanked by that. Maybe somebody needs to spank you. I forget the exact quote. But she made some offhand comment, and then she did. And she said that after that, he was much more polite. So it worked.
Oh, boy.
Got him.
Oh, God. I'm just glad, some people wanted her to describe his...
We don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear that business.
We don't need to hear it. We know.
Another element of this, too, is it's interesting. Or... It's not even interesting. It's just true. We know all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is stuff that we've known for 6 years,
5
years, a long time. So it's good, obviously, how the legal system works, and you gotta under oath and you do all the things, and this is for the trial. But no, I don't think anything from her testimony is new.
No, she says that she was looking to sell her story. She did want it to get out.
Okay.
So I think this is clearly someone who thought Trump was a bad guy and a threat and was like, this could hurt him. It was purchased for $15,000 and then killed. That's the whole catch and kill idea.
Okay. So that gives the more color to the situation too. It's not just like he was worried. It was like, no, she wanted this story to get out, and so it's the motivation to do the hush money and then cover that up and so on.
Right, and the prosecution that's I think, or the defense that is doing cross testimony, cross examination. There we go. I think is going to try to make it look like she was just in it for the money,
Right.
And she insists she was not. And then they're going to be like, you've gone on tour since this. And it's like, sir, have you slept with a man with a toadstool dick and Yeti pubes? I don't think so. So I had to say it. But have you slept with someone this distasteful? The least you could do is go make a little tour out of it. And here's what I love about Stormy Daniels. And I don't mean to shit on Monica Lewinsky, and she's a very different person. But this is not Monica Lewinsky thing, but I like to think if Lewinsky happened now, that she might again sort of more firmly for lack of a better, I don't mean to sound so girl power about this, but be within her power to be yes, this happened, and I don't have to be shamed. And
what she heard today, she's so outspoken and so much more confident about it. Because also he was at that time, especially too, in the 90s. He's the president.
He's the fucking president.
Oh my God.
She's she's arguably what I love about Stormy Daniels is she's a sex worker. She's she's in the porn industry and she's not ashamed of it, which I think you'll find many people who are in the industry are not ashamed of it. They know what they do for a living, and she doesn't recoil. She's gotten death threats. She's been called every kind of name. She loves to clap back, or at least used to more, on social media. She is so squarely knows who she is and is in her power, and it's just so fucking great.
Oh, it's really refreshing. It's also like, it is, that is her experience, right? If you're in that industry, you have experience dealing with these creeps and like abusers. Not everybody, obviously, but like they're like, you get experience on how to deal with that. And so when you're confronted with this billionaire creep, you are going to be able to handle yourself more, maybe, or feel more confident in pushing back, or I guess spanking him with his own magazine.
So 37 minutes ago, the trial is ended for the day. It'll take its customary midweek break tomorrow and be back in session on Thursday. Yeah, so Daniels denied trying to extort him, all this stuff. So,
but also, like, well, yeah, it's the kind of thing too, because that's so. She's saying that she was interested in it getting published. Okay. That doesn't matter.
No.
From my understanding, that doesn't matter, because it's not that like she wanted money or whatever and he paid it, and like, oh, it's actually her fault and she should go to jail. No.
Right.
You did this, and it's about campaign finance and like the hush money situation.
Yes.
So like, even if she did, it doesn't matter.
Right. I think they're really going to say, the jury would have to basically say, as I think the defense is trying to argue, that everything that a candidate does is basically fair game and fine. Because everything is in service of trying to win an election, and it's okay to move money around and it's okay to hide money, so long, because that's kind of this is the rules, babe. Like, this is how it's played.
We hate the swamp, don't we, folks?
Yeah,
My
we
God,
hate drain it. But that's exactly what they're going to argue, is like, so we move money around. I think that's because Trump is always like, it's no, 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 and then, so what if I did?
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, it's 2016. It was like, of course I like cheat on my taxes. Like, I'm allowed to.
Exactly.
That's what we do. And
smart people
like,
do
that.
Yeah,
great.
And then he realizes, oh, I get more cred. And this again is kind of the brilliance of a Trump, or anyone who is honest, is I get more cred by being honest, even if that honesty is surrounding just the most vile things possible.
Yeah.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.